Hello students, myself Dr. Chaya BM, Associate Professor, Department of ECE, SVIT. So in this video, we'll be looking into task synchronization and communication concepts, where we can cover the concepts on critical section, mutual exclusion and semaphore. Task cooperation and communication. So in the task cooperation and communication, we can understand about the concurrency of the active task. So in real-time systems, tasks are designed in such a way that there is a communication between the task and cooperation between the tasks, which means that the synchronization of the activities have been properly maintained in order to serve the requirements of the user. In multitasking operating systems, it allows sharing of resources between several concurrently active tasks. But there are some resources which are restricted to only one task at a time. Critical region is nothing but a code. So wherever there is a restriction in use of resources such as updating files, updating tables, files and so on. So these can be some of the resources. Basically, when I say critical region, it is nothing but a code for each process where process may be changing its table, files and so on. So when one process is executing in a critical section, when one process is executing in a critical section or critical region all are same, no other process is to be allowed. No other process is to be allowed to execute in its critical region, in its critical section on the same, okay, in its critical section. So it is very important to protect the program or a task that is executing in a critical section. What is the syntax of the critical section? So first we can write do open flower basis entry section, critical section. What is this critical section? And we have exit a section and reminder section and close bracket while true. So we need to see what is this entry section. Entry section is like a lock. Okay, it gives lock to a process. So until a process gets the lock, it cannot enter into the critical section. So entry section is the one which gives lock to the process or a task. When I say process, it is nothing but a task. Okay, why? To enter into the critical section, to enter inside critical section, to enter inside the critical section. So once it enters the critical section, when I say critical section, it means that at any point of time, at any point, only one process can execute in this section. At any point of time, only one process can execute in this section. So after executing, it has to unlock, right? So it has got the lock, it has entered into the critical section. The task has entered. So after at any point of time, one process can execute in the critical section. After it completed the execution, to remove lock, exit section is used to remove lock from resource to give access to other resources, to give access to other tasks, okay, to give access to other tasks or processes. So remainder section is like any other program to execute. It's like any program can execute in the remainder section, but in the critical section only one program can execute in the critical section. That is why there is a lock mechanism introduced for this critical section. Entry section, it's like it gives the locks to the task or a process to enter into the critical section. Then after executing the critical section, exit section will remove the lock from that particular resources. Remainder section is a normal code at any, where any program can execute in the remainder section. Mutual exclusion. Mutual exclusion is a property. It is a property of concurrency control of processes. Concurrency control of processes. This is one of the method or solution to protect the critical section. So it is the one in which making sure that if one process is executing in its critical section, then no other process can enter in its critical section. So mutual exclusion, I repeat, it is a way in which it ensures that if one process is executing in its critical section, no other process can enter in its critical section. Basically, it is the one which prevents simultaneous access to a shared resources. Simultaneous access to a shared resources. As mentioned, it always ensures to execute only one program in a critical section. So, a simple mechanism to understand mutual exclusion is shown here. So, consider two processes, process A and process B. Consider two processes or tasks, that is process A and process B. So, when process A is executing, okay, when process A, we assume that this is executing currently. So while if process wants to execute, it cannot access. So consider this as time t1. So this is the time t1, okay, and this is t2. So if you assume that this is the point where A enters in critical region at T1, at T2, if B attempts to enter CR, it cannot be entered because critical region is protected. So it is being protected and it is executing. So now this, after the completion of this execution at T3 it completes, and now task B can access. So now task B can run. Okay. So till then you can observe that till this point. So if B has attempted to enter at T2, but it will not get the service. Between T2 and T3, B will be blocked. B will be blocked. Okay. At T4, maybe at T3, now we can see that A is executed and it leaves the critical region. After it leaves, B can take over the critical region. So now at this point we can write that B enters critical region at T4. At T4, maybe if this is a T4th position, B executes completely and leaves CR. This is the common mechanism to understand mutual exclusion. In this you can see that it is a property of concurrency control of the processes. If process A is executing, while it is executing, if any other process B wants to access the critical region, it will not allow to use. So until then, process B will be blocked. So after the execution of A only, it gives the critical region to B. So this is mutual exclusion. Semaphore. Semaphore means that it is a process synchronization tool. It is a process synchronization tool. Okay, and it is a way of achieving the mutual exclusion. Semaphores are basically used, and this will ensure that process enters the critical section in a mutually exclusive way. Process enters critical section or critical region in a mutually exclusive way. Okay. So basically there are two types of semaphores. First is simply if we consider a binary semaphore. So there are binary semaphore has two values. It is a condition flag with two values. If I consider binary semaphore to be S, if S is equal to 1, it means that resource is available and task can proceed. S is equal to 0 means that resource is unavailable and task must wait. So semaphore, we can understand a binary semaphore concept. It is nothing but a conditional flag where it gives the information about resource availability. It gives the information about resource availability. We have two flags, that is S is equal to 0 and S is equal to 1. If S is equal to 0, it means that resource is unavailable, task must wait. If it is equal to 1, it means that resource is available and task can proceed. The three permissible operations of semaphore are initialize, secure and release. So what do you mean by initializing? Suppose if S is a binary semaphore, okay, V is integer. So it can have values of V can be 0 or 1. If it is a binary semaphore, it can only have two values, two integer values, that is 0 or 1. This is the way of initializing the semaphore. So securing of S. How to secure this binary semaphore? Securing means that S is equal to 0. If S is equal to 1, make it S is equal to 0. So when S is equal to 0, it means that task has secured its resources, or task has secured the resources. So while it has secured the resource, then other task has to wait. Release of S means that S is equal to 1. If S is equal to 0, make S is equal to 1. That is, after using or complete usage of the resource, release the resources by making it 1. So it means that any other task can use the resources. Basically there are three permissible operations as noted here. The first one is the initializing, secure and release. So S is equal to, we are just giving a name to be S, binary semaphore label to be S. It can be any variable where since it is a binary semaphore, it has two values, that is 0 and 1. Then how to secure these resources using a semaphore? Secure of S means that if S is equal to 1, make S is equal to 0. When the value of S is equal to 0, it means that task has secured the resource, and since it has secured, any other task which is attempting to access the same resource has to wait. So after the complete usage, it has to release the resource. So the third permissible operation is release of S. That means make it 1. After complete usage of resources, any other task can use the resource. Mutual exclusion using binary semaphore. So in this we can see that how binary semaphore is used to attempt at mutual exclusion when many tasks attempt to use the same resource, that is printer. So initialize the semaphore, that is printer access is a semaphore. Initially the value will become 1 because there is no other task which is attempting to access the printer resource. Here we are taking example of using the printer resource. In the step 2, task A is active secure printer access. It means that task A wants to secure the position of the printer resource. So hence now the value will become 0. Wherever there is secure, it means that, so by making it 0, it secures the position of that resource. It means that it says that now I have got this resource. So now while task A is running, task B also wants to attempt to secure its position. Task B will inform task A that after task A is run, task B wants to run. So hence the value will still become 0 while it is securing. Task A will be in suspended queue. So it says that task B is now placed in a queue because now task A and task B both wants to use the printer resource. So we can see that task C also wants to attempt and use the printer resource, and now there will be 3 tasks in a queue, that is task A, this is task B and task C. All 3 wants to access the printer resource. In the step 5 we can see that task A is run first and then task B and C will be in the queue. Again task B run and task C will be in the queue. So task A first it will run. So 2 are left out, that is task B and task C. Next task B is run, so C is in the queue. So in the 7th step it says that task C also runs. The now value which was 0 after task C is run completely, the value will become 1. The semaphore value will be 1. It means that all the 3 tasks have completed its execution by using the printer resource. Now since the value is 1, it means that printer is available to any other task. Thank you.